In 2007, in the T20 Cricket World Cup, Stuart Broad faced one of the most embarrassing moments of his entire career. In one over, he was hit for 6 sixes by India's Yuvraj Singh. For many players, this could have been the end, a moment that scarred them forever, leaving them to fall to a string of poor performances and never be seen again. But not for Stuart Broad. He went on to not only become one of England's greatest ever players, but an icon of the entire sport. And was this down to his natural talent, his ability and skills? No, because in a recent interview, he revealed one thing that he began to do from that moment on. A secret weapon that he added in that changed everything. It's what took Stuart Broad from one of the darkest days of his career onto becoming a player that rose to high pressure occasions and onto one of the all-time greats. And it's something that athletes don't do until it's too late. And in this video, I'm going to explain to you what that thing is, how you can do it too, and why you should start implementing it right now. So what is it? Well, this secret weapon that Stuart Broad, as well as top athletes around the world use, comes down to one word: process. Stuart Broad explained how he didn't really know how he was performing the skills that he had. He was letting his natural talent get him by. But at the top level, talent isn't enough. Everyone's got talent. You need to understand your skills so that you can continuously improve. And the way to do this is by having a process. You might hear coaches talking about trust the process, focus on the process. But what is it that they're talking about? What is a process? A process is a set of processes that underpin performance. They're essentially the steps that you take to get towards your outcome. It helps us from improving strategy, form, other aspects needed to get the best out of our performance. For example, think of a powerlifter keeping their back straight when doing a deadlift, or maybe a golfer maintaining a smooth swing. And a process doesn't just have to be physical. It can be your mental skills as well. So that could be your breathing, could be self-talk, visualization, anything that is a part of the process to you get towards executing your skill and the outcome that you want. So why is it so important? Well, a process is 100% in our control. When we feel anxiety in performances, it's usually because we're focusing on things that we can't control. A process is entirely in our control, and when we're under pressure and things are going crazy, we can go back to what is in our control and is simple that we can focus on. Take Dan Carter, arguably one of rugby's greatest ever fly halves and all-time highest point scorer. Before he's about to take a kick, you can see that his mind is ticking. He's focusing on something. Chances are that it's not what the score is, what his coaches are thinking of him. It's on the steps he's about to take to kick the ball to his best. When things are chaotic and the mind is going, we need to simplify things down. And that's what a process allows us to do. Okay, but how do we create a process? Well, it takes a bit of conscious effort. We want to make what is unconscious conscious. When you are performing your skill to your best, you want to note down, whether that's on your journal, your notepad, maybe even your phone, how you are doing what you're doing. Whether that's the physical, the form, the technical, the thoughts, the strategy, get everything down on a page. Also note when things maybe aren't going so well, so that you know the difference between the two. When you've done this over a bunch of training sessions, begin to look for themes. You can group them together, distill them down to a few words so that they're simple to understand. It's important to make it simple, and you can start to work with a coach or a teammate to use them as a sounding board, and it will continuously develop over time. And that's important to know because for exactly this last, final, most important point, that it does take time to create a process. Stuart Broad explains how he was so fortunate that at the age of 21, he figured this out because it took him a few years to get used to it. It took him till he was about 25, 26 until he started to get to grips with it, and then was able to use it in his performances for the next 11 years of international cricket. But most athletes wait until they're about 25, 26, maybe even later before they figure this out. That means that there's a bunch of years where they possibly have missed out on performances that they could have had at a higher level or even better. So with that in mind, having come from professional sport, I know that if you can find a process right now and you can start working on it, then your game will fundamentally change. So if you've liked this video, let us know what your process is in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this video. And if you want to further your process even more, then head over to this video right now.